So parents of someone we know, they came from India to Canada as on visiting visa, and the father just stepped out to take out the recycle bin and put it in the garage. That's all. Being winter, not too peak winter, but sometime you do have the ice on the driveways sometime when it is like in the month of October, November. The father slipped and fell and broke his leg. And they had to take him to emergency. The emergency costed them, this was like 10 years ago, and at that time itself, it costed them $25,000. If they had purchased the policy, which would have cost like $800 or $900, they could have saved all this money. Here in this part of the world, insurance is very, very important. So let me change that to what is the minimum insurance coverage that someone needs to buy. Yes, there are two kinds of licenses, as I mentioned. One is called REIO, Registered Insurance Brokers of Ontario. That is the license that you need to take to sell general insurance. And then other.
What are the types of insurances we have, and which are the most prominent ones according to you?
There are mainly two kinds of insurance products, I would say.
As we all know, troubles do happen in our lives while we are driving or walking, or sometimes it could be something else. But we do get into trouble in various ways. The best way to protect ourselves and our family from those troubles is having the right type of insurance. And today's discussion with Simat Gita is on that lines. We had covered the periphery of the insurance sector. We have covered first few minutes we did discuss on the insurance agent career, and then we got deeper into the types of insurances, for example, the personal versus commercial, and insurances within the personal sector, and went into the examples of the commercial. Wow, I've learned a great deal of information in today's podcast. I'm sure you'll learn a lot of things about insurance, the types, and what we need to do to lessen our premium and get the best benefits. Enjoy this conversation as I did. Let's get into the podcast. Thank you. Namaskaram, Geeta garu. How are you?
Namaskaram, Shashankaru. I'm good, Andy. How are you?
Oh, fantastic, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much for joining our podcast, and you're going to educate me today about your area of expertise, which is insurance. So what I'm going to learn today from you, ma'am?
I would like to spread the knowledge that I have gained and all the experience that I have in insurance to the community, so that it can help the community to make wise decisions when they are purchasing any kind of insurance policy.
Having said that, out of curiosity, I'm trying to understand there are various types of insurances available in the market, right? Because I know Adnan Sami, the Bollywood singer, he insured his fingers because he plays piano. So I got confused when I heard about it. So what are the types of insurances we have, and which are the most prominent ones according to you?
There are mainly two kinds of insurance products, I would say. One is general insurance. The other one is life insurance. So that is how it is divided in this part of the world too. And general insurance covers your personal belongings, your personal automobile, at the same time, your business insurance, your commercial autos, all that comes under general insurance. And when you go into the life insurance products, it is basically the life insurance or travel insurance, health insurance, so related to human beings. Whatever insurances that you can have, those are all under the life insurance kind of products. So these are the main two kinds of products that all the products come into. These are the main two categories, I would say, that all the products are now divided into.
Got it. So can I say that the first category of insurance is what you mentioned? Can I be considering? Can I consider them as personal insurance things, like the life is not personal thing, right? Is it life? Does life insurance fall into personal insurance category?
It is a personal insurance. When you are dividing it into personal and commercial, life insurance
Oh.
can fall into personal insurance.
Got it. So there are two kinds of insurances. One which is personal insurance, other one which is commercial insurance, like in a broader perspective.
In a broader way.
Got
But
it.
when here in Canada, when you are taking up a license to sell insurance, the way it is divided is general insurance products and life insurance products. The general insurance products, you get the auto, home insurance, then the commercial insurance, the business insurance, all these fall under the general insurance products. It is also called PNC insurance, personal and casualty insurance. And the other one is the life insurance category. And under that, you have health insurance, life insurance, visitors to Canada, super visa, travel insurance, all kind of those products, disability, critical illness. There are various products under the life insurance category that has a different license that you need to hold, and the general insurance products have a different license that you need to hold.
Oh, fantastic. So we'll get little bit into insurance agent career also, if you're okay with that. So, just for a quick second, if someone wants to become an insurance agent, they would have to learn all of this, and again, they have the categories within that. So, is there any common test or something which they can take and which covers whole of the insurance products, including the commercial and personal?
Yes, there are two kinds of licenses, as I mentioned. One is called REIO, Registered Insurance Brokers of Ontario. That is the license that you need to take to sell general insurance. And then other one is LLQP, that is for life licensing, that you need to take the certification. Now, let me explain about myself, how I entered as well. So I have been into insurance like from the time even before I graduated in India. So that's how long I have been into insurance field. 1993, I started then, and I was into LIC, if anybody knows, Life Insurance Corporation of India. And after that, we moved into Canada in 2000. I thought of trying other careers, but somehow the calling was always into insurance. So in 2005, I got my REBO license. The first license for me was the general insurance. I was holding that since 2005. For 15 years, I was selling only general insurance. But so many of my clients still again want life insurance also from me. So then I thought, okay, if I take that also, I will be able to help my clients overall, right? If whatever kind of products they need, I would be able to offer them and service them as they need, and that will make my clients happy as well. So that's how I got my life license in like about 7 to 8 years ago. And right now I can sell any insurance product in Ontario.
Wonderful. So you are into it for a while, and I was kid when you have actually started your first insurance career, right?
Kind of.
1993 is pretty huge, and it's humongous amount of experience you have. So I'm sure if I have a lot to learn from you today. So having said that, ma'am, so what are the basic according to you? Let me ask you something interesting. What would you say are the absolute things which I need to consider when I take a personal insurance? You can give me you can pick up any example and tell me, if you take this example, Shashank, you would have to consider, for sure, you have to consider this and this and this coverage. Give me something which probably, I don't know, you have to tell me which is the most frequently asked insurance and what are the most important coverages we need to take.
So when you say personal insurance, again, there are so many personal insurance products. It can be auto insurance, it can be a home insurance, it can be a travel insurance, it can be life insurance, it can be critical illness, disability. All these are insurances required for a person. Now, within that, maybe we can take the example of auto insurance, because auto insurance is something very mandatory in Canada, in North America, I should say. So that is a gateway for any agent to get a client. And for auto insurance, to get the insurance on your car, you need the driver's license for sure. Ontario driver's license, not any other license. If somebody comes from US and they want insurance, no, we cannot provide in Ontario insurance for licensed outside of Ontario. They have to be Ontario licensed. And also need to have the car, and they need to, like, once somebody calls for car insurance, we do the quoting based on the car, the driver, their location, their years of experience, their driving experience. These are the main thing. Other small items that fall into the auto insurance quotings are like the commuting distance to work, annual mileage, stuff like that. Most of the people know all these things, but people, again, when they call for a quote, they don't know how to compare sometimes. They say that, oh, my neighbor is paying only $200. Now you're charging me $250 per month. But there are even more detailed things that need to be considered. That car may be a year older, this car may be a year newer. Even the small things also make a difference in a car insurance quote. So these are some detailed information that is required for car insurance that fall under the personal insurance.
I've got a question. So you said Ontario specifically. So let's say if I take insurance in Ontario, or maybe if I have a Nova Scotia driving license, so I have to take my insurance in Nova Scotia, and will that insurance work in Ontario?
Yes. So you have a driver's license in Nova Scotia and you want to drive in Ontario, that license definitely works. But the insurance will be from Nova Scotia. It cannot be Ontario Insurance Company cannot sell insurance to a Nova Scotia licensed driver. You need to change the driver's license at the MTO to Ontario license. Only then we can provide the insurance here.
Oh, this is this is completely new. I've been in Ontario from the day one, so I don't know this. People who travel between provinces, or people who have moved from one province to other province, they would understand. So this is something new for me. Okay, cool. Um, Amazing. What are the basic things which people ignore when they apply for an auto insurance, according to you?
So even if the client tries to ignore, as an insurance agent, the agent is going to ask all the necessary questions to provide the quote. It is the responsibility of the insurance agent to ask all the necessary questions that I had mentioned before, whether it is regarding the driver, whether it is regarding the vehicle. The purchase date of the vehicle also is important, whether it is purchased old or used. That kind of stuff also, information also is required to do the quote. The driving distance, whether the vehicle has winter tires, and the years of experience of the driver, whether they have passed tickets, claims. All this information is very important, and the insurance agent does ask all these questions to provide the quote.
Got it, ma'am. So basically, a experienced insurance agent would not let us ignore anything. That's what I understand.
Definitely not.
Okay. So having said that, I've seen cases where people see insurance as an extra burden on their pocket, and I don't blame them, because in certain situations, like if I'm freshly I've freshly immigrated to Canada, I don't have a job, and and specifically if I'm in cities with higher insurance, it's going to impact my pocket anyway, right? So do you think then people, let me put it right way. So people think insurance as an extra burden in most of the scenarios, right? When in the scenarios I've just explained. So have you seen any situation, or can you give me some example where people found an utility in in taking the right insurance in the right time? So do you have any of your clients who went through that, and taking insurance has helped them to come out of any particular situation, maybe it's auto, or maybe it, medical insurance or travel insurance? or any one example, because this will enable or encourage people to take the right decision at right time for the insurance.
So insurance, the definition itself is protection against financial loss when there is unexpected, unforeseen events happen. And this I can explain by taking an example for visitors to Canada insurance, really, because that is so important and that is ignored by so many clients. So many people think that, okay, nothing is going to happen in this 1 month or 2 months, why we need to take insurance? And they do fall into many difficulties because of that. I can give you one very good example with Visitors to Canada insurance. So parents of someone we know, they came from India to Canada as on visiting visa, and the father just stepped out to take out the recycle bin and put it in the garage. That's all. Being winter, not too peak winter, but sometime you do have the ice on the driveways sometime when it is like in the month of October, November. The father slipped and fell and broke his leg. And they had to take him to emergency. The emergency costed them, this was like 10 years ago, and at that time itself, it costed them $25,000. If they had purchased the policy, which would have cost like $800 or $900, they could have saved all this money. Here in this part of the world, insurance is very, very important.
Wow. That's a very emotional example which you have given, Geeta. So I've got one doubt after listening to this sad story. So, what is the maximum amount you would suggest for someone who is visiting on a travel to Canada? Or basically, I'm just trying to understand what is the maximum amount which a person has to take for a visitor travel insurance.
So let me change that to what is the minimum insurance coverage that someone needs to buy, because that minimum is required whether there is a claim or not. So please know that if there is no claim, we should not think that, oh my God, I paid so much, because this coverage is very, what you say, minimum when there is a hospitalization. 100,000 minimum somebody should purchase for their parents when they are visiting to Canada. We do have companies selling from 25,000, but in case of a hospitalization, it is going to be nothing. So I would suggest, my recommendation for my clients is always 100,000 at least. There are insurance companies that sell up to 300,000, up to 500,000 also now available for visitors to Canada. But my recommendation always minimum go for 100,000.
So that's approximately what would be the premium for that amount for 100,000 insurance of a visitor visa, approximately?
The visitor to Canada insurance varies again on the age of the visitor, and they can vary from $2 a day to $10 to $12 a day based on their age, based on the amount of coverage they purchase. So things like that. Again, if you find the amount, the premium is very high, you can add a deductible. So the deductible is the amount that you pay to the company in case of a claim. You add $100 deductible, the premium comes down by $70 to $80. You add a $500 deductible, $300 you can save on the premium. But the first 500 you pay. Now there are companies coming up where it's not per claim that you pay the $500 deductible, it is overall policy. So in case there is a claim for $1,000, the first claim, the first 500 you pay, the remaining 500 insurance company pays. Again, there is another claim for $2,000. But the first amount, 500 deductible, you have already paid. So the 2,000 is fully reimbursed to you. So that way also you can save on the premium amount. It will not be such a big burden to you. but you can have the peace of mind that in case there is a huge claim happening, then there is protection against the financial loss.
Wonderful, ma'am. So we have covered various scenarios in personal insurance vertical, because we have discussed about basic life insurance, and then I wanted to cover deeper into it. But as this is our first podcast, I want to dig deeper into health insurance and other kinds of personal insurances in our next podcast, if you give us your valuable time. Now let's get into the business or commercial insurance. Because I'm also in, because I wanted to understand what is this commercial insurance angle in the insurance sector, because this is the first time I'm hearing about it. I know there are insurances for for the businesses, but do you mind introducing me, giving an overall perspective of what is this commercial insurance, and who is qualified to take it? Very basic information.
Commercial insurance is basically for businesses. The business can be anything. It can be selling ice cream in the ice cream truck. It can be a convenience store. It can be a restaurant. It can be an IT company. It can even be like the Uber Eats, where they are doing everything online. So any kind of business, when we are insuring, it comes under commercial insurance. It can be a huge pharmaceutical company. So how is this insurance protecting these businesses? The main protection comes as a liability coverage. So when there is a restaurant, what is the liability exposure? Restaurant is something that people can understand easily. So I'm taking the example. If you want me to explain some other business, I can do that as well after this. So with a restaurant, when people come and eat the food that is cooked by the restaurant, there can be some consequences sometimes. So that is called product liability, which is covered under the restaurant commercial policy. At the same time, when they get inside the restaurant, there can be something dropped on the floor. And if someone slips and falls, they can come after the restaurant for not keeping the restaurant clean enough. So that is again another liability exposure. So all these are covered for a commercial under the commercial policy. There can be liquor sales in a restaurant. So that is called liquor liability, separately sold. So again, all these in a commercial restaurant, the way it is covered is how much they are selling food, how much they are selling alcohol, how much catering is going on. All this kind of stuff are considered when they are giving the liability coverage for a restaurant.
Oh, okay, that's pretty deep. So it's similar to that of other insurances, but it deals with the components within the thing which you are
In the
insuring
business.
for. Okay, makes sense. Okay. Having said that, ma'am, what are the basic things which you think businesses or any business owner would ignore? Let's say, um, according to you, from your experience, have you seen business owners ignoring any of the things when they take the commercial insurance? Or what do you think a business owner should focus on, so that they don't ignore them when they take commercial? I'm asking the same question in a different way, but yeah, you understood basically what I'm trying to understand, right? So what is your take on that?
So, in my experience, what I have noticed is business insurance, business owner purchases only when somebody asks for it. But knowing the business that they are doing and knowing the exposure, they should be knowing the exposure, what it is, where the clients are coming to the business and getting any kind of what you say exposure, what can cause any liability damage. They should be aware of it and take the insurance when they start a business. They should not be waiting until somebody asks. Say, a small electrician, an electrician, let us take the example. He's fixing the electrical, he's doing electrical work in commercial places, residential places. So far, he has been doing only in the small, taking up small contracts. So people didn't ask him, and he has been just happily performing the electrical work. He will come for insurance only when a big company asks for a certificate of insurance. But whatever job he has done before, if it catches fire or if something goes wrong in what he has done in the electrical work, that those people can come after him. So it's always good to take insurance. It should be made mandatory, I feel. But I don't know why some businesses are still operating without insurance. So insurance has to be taken by any kind of business.
Because now I'm going to ask you a little bit a different question. So because let's say if I'm new into any business, I'm pretty new, I have very less experience, because at the same time I don't have I'm not I don't have heavy pockets. You understand what I mean? Like I've worked as an apprentice somewhere. Now I am starting my own business. I've invested a lot of money into my business. So do you think, are there any products which consider this someone who is new into business and give discounted insurance or something, or are there any companies which I don't want to take any company names, but I just wanted to understand, is there any feasibility of that kind for the new businesses?
Actually, this is a very good question that many people don't have understand, like don't think of, I should say. So when you are starting a business, if you have previous experience in similar kind of operation, you are definitely considered uh, at a better rating by insurance companies. So you had been working in the IT sector, in like software development under a company, within a company as an employee. Now you came out, you are again starting an IT company on your own. You submit your resume when you are submitting your what you say proposal to get insurance quote. With your resume, with the proposal you submit your resume. It will add lot of weightage, and it can bring down your premium quite a bit. If you had worked as a cook in a restaurant and now opening your own restaurant, that also is actually adding as an experience, and it will bring down the premium quite a bit. So this is really important for people to understand, rather than someone working in an IT company opening a restaurant. That is entirely considered in a different way.
All right, ma'am. That's very informative piece of knowledge which you have shared with me. Now I've got a little comparative question here. So let's say if I have a restaurant which has let's say, just random example, I have 4 cooks and let's say 20 waiters and helpers. I don't know what you call them, because I never own a restaurant. So, but then I'm just randomly telling you, we have a staff of approximately 25 people.